Let's just jump in to this first story. We have the report here from ABC News. Plant spokesman says Russian troops have begun shelling Europe's largest nuclear power station in Ukraine. Plant spokesman says Russian troops have begun shelling it. That's basically the news. That's it. But we're not stopping there. We actually have this live stream. I can't read Cyrillic, so I don't know who's the person who has the live stream up. It's not us, but someone has been able to get a live stream of the plant. You can see there's some smoke coming out of it. The camera has moved periodically. But let me just do this. Let me jump to this story.
It seems to be the name of the plant itself, so I think it might be like an official channel. It's
the actual right. Oh, so you're right. Yeah. Was
Zaporizhzhia.
It Zaporizhzhia?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. So we actually have some photos that appears to show still grabs and video clips showing the actual shelling. You can see this happening right now. I would love to have had someone who knows the finer mechanics of a nuclear power plant to tell us what this could mean, what could happen, because apparently they've already hit. So, like, have they hit all of the power station?
Well,
there's reactors.
There's lots, like at any nuclear facility that you're going to be involved in, and someone who's as I say, as a military officer, I've done some basic battle damage assessment training. So just like any military facility or large scale power plant, there's going to be lots of outlier buildings, administrative buildings, office buildings. There's way more buildings around this thing than the actual nuclear reactors that have the rods in them that have the ability to melt down or anything like that. Now, that being said, it's not a good idea to have a firefight at a nuclear plant to be firing artillery and throwing grenades and all of the rest of that for various, very obvious reasons.
So this is this, what is this? We have this image here. Zaporizhzhia, is that what it is? Am I saying that wrong?
Well, it looks like in the English they're saying Zaporizhzhia, but in the Cyrillic there was a K, so that was throwing me off.
But there's it's like Zaporizhzhia.
Zaporizhzhia.
But this is just north of Melitopol, and that's just north of Crimea near the Sea of Azov.
And so it's on the Dnieper River. So every nuclear plant needs a water source, right? This is your basic nuclear power value proposition. So it's the same reason, by the way, why a lot of U.S. Navy ships, as all U.S. carriers and all U.S. submarines are nuclear powered, because obviously they have a very
access to water,
plentiful access to water. I was going to say though, Russia has attempted, and it's kind of on again, off again, to make a nuclear powered cruiser. So actually, with the capability of essentially being able to fire cruise missiles as this massive nuclear-powered platform, which even the U.S. doesn't do.
So what are we doing here? What's this? Is this just a shocking moment? It's a flash in the pan, and maybe nothing bad will happen, or
it seems. I mean, it seems this is part of Russia's strategy, right? They are trying to take over all the strategic key points of Ukraine, and what they're trying to do really is cut the entire country of Ukraine in half using that Dnieper River as their essential boundary. So either they're coming down on the north towards Kiev, they're coming up from the south through, starting obviously in Crimea, which they had already annexed in 2014, coming up north. They already took the city of Kherson. So the next logical move for any military procession in this was that you would continue up the river.
Did you see that map from Lukashenko, Belarus,
yes,
showing the attack into Moldova, though?
Right.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I mean, that could be a lot of things. Now, we already know that Russia does have some troops in that separatist region of Transnistria, so it could have been a reference to that. I mean, the quality of the map was hard to kind of really make out if there was any writing on it or anything like that. And obviously, everybody knows that I live with I have a live-in translator when it comes to this part of the world. My wife being Belarusian, and so we weren't able. So I asked her if she could see anything on there. She said I couldn't really see anything. But I remember the night that this all started. We were down in CPAC and we were staying at this place, had like crappy hotel Wi-Fi, nice hotel, but crappy Wi-Fi down in Orlando. And Putin's up giving his speech and she's like translating it in real time. And then I'm tweeting it out. And then Zelensky's coming up giving his response. And people are all like, how's Posobiec getting this stuff so fast? I'm like, I have a translator sitting next to me.
Yeah. That's always the most difficult things. I've seen a lot of videos of Putin's statements and I don't know that someone's translated it properly. Do you trust a random person on the internet just posting quotes? You know what I mean?
There was a funny moment of that. I remember in 2000.
Welcome to the fog of war.
That's right.
Funny moment of that in 2007 with Condi Rice when she was meeting with Medvedev remember? And she kicked the translator out of the room because she speaks Russian, and she said, "You're not she accused the Russian translator of purposely, or the American translator of like either not purposely, but she accused the American translator of botching the translation to a point that it was distracting her, and so she asked the translator to leave.
How many times has that happened?
That's pretty badass, Condi.
I mean, if that happened, that's an example. How many times do you think this is happening today, like over and over and over again?
Yeah.
Already we were talking about mistranslations in like Islam, and that the word power and force also mean God in Arabic.
Yeah.
And like, come on, talk about it.
And you listen to the MSNBC translation of the State of the Union?
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't even translate Biden properly.
Just an update on as what we're seeing, and the stream is freezing now, so I mean, we might be losing our ability to see what's going on at this power plant. But Ukraine's energy ministry, and again, fog of war, grain of salt, all the normal, couching statements and corollaries that we have to say. But Ukraine's energy ministry is now claiming that firefighters have been fired at by Russian troops while trying to put out the fire. Because they were going directly into an active combat
It's possible. It's entirely possible. Yeah, if you're a firefighter and there's conflict, they don't know who you are. They might fire upon you. But I'm really not a fan of these comic book villainy claims that come out from the West, and to be honest, even from Russia. Oh, we don't want Ukraine to get nukes or whatever, or we're trying to denazify Putin, saying we're gonna have an Antifa thing or whatever. That's ridiculous. But the idea, that we're hearing the absolute comic book villainy of both sides, from both sides. The propaganda is the Russians are evil, and they got these videos of Russian POWs crying and saying like, I didn't know they were gonna make me kill women and children or whatever. And I'm like, dude, don't parade around POWs to me, because I don't trust them when they say that, right? You've captured them. Their lives are at risk. The Ukrainian Special Forces Command said, we're not going to take prisoners anymore. And a lot of people were like, well, that's an admission of a war crime. They were like, no more capture. If we do, we're going to slaughter. I think, what did they say? Slaughter like pigs or something?
Yeah, but that actually, I did see some people pushing back on that. And as we were just saying, that may have been kind of a translation thing, where the connotation may have been more like, we're going to kill you in battle, so you won't be alive for us to take prisoner, right? As opposed to we're not going to allow you to surrender.
No, they tweeted in English something and then deleted it. Yeah, there was like a tweet.
Well, no, that was, so I think that was either Kiev Independent or Kiev Post that was was covering what was said, but they may have been going off of the mistranslation.
Right.
But again, I mean, so here's what I keep saying throughout all of this, right? And the one thing I've instituted with all my team is saying we're on a 24-hour, rule with all this stuff. Because how many stories have come out since the beginning of this conflict? I think 1 week. I think we're at the 1 week mark today, right? That within 24 hours have been completely debunked, right? This shelling or this pilot
Ghost of Kiev,
or Snake Island, right? It sounds like a Hollywood script, right? It sounds like
a Marvel movie.
Yeah, you're like a movie script, and and at first oh my gosh, this is I can't believe it. And then it turns out,
I can't believe
but you
it.
actually can't believe it, right?
Yeah.
So keep in mind that you're seeing these situations, and it's meant to emotionally affect you and emotionally hook you. And the Western media, by the way, has been leaps and bounds beyond anything Russia has put out in terms of their information operations here. So kind of one little corollary I threw out there was, this sort of debunks all of Russiagate, right? Because it wasn't the predicate for Russiagate the idea that the Russians were these masters at information warfare. They dominated the global information environment. And then it turns out that, okay, well, here's Russia in an actual shooting war, which they would really need to have their best info ops up, and they're screaming about genocide and Nazis. And sure, we can talk about the Azov Battalion, and we can be very truthful about what's going on. But at the same and yes, there is shelling in Donbass, 100%. But it's not the exact same thing that they're alleging.
They got the Instagram hot babes of Russia coming out against Vladimir Putin's against their own government.
He's done,
and
it's time to end it.
Yeah, and some of these
call it off.
I thought banning the cats was going to do it, but
these Instagram models are like the daughters of government officials. See, the thing is, this is the power of influence war. The U.S. controls Instagram. These young women make money off Instagram and feel social acceptance from likes. When that's threatened to be taken away from them, they immediately come out and say, no, I support the other country. That is scary.
Like our corporations do when every time
China.
does. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
It's terrifying when TikTok controlled by China, is operating here for the exact same reason. And what'll happen if China moves into Taiwan? TikTok is going to light up, and all of these American TikTokers are going to be like, but Taiwan is China, and China has a right, and blah, blah, blah.
Taiwan is the Republic of China. Technically, it is China, and the CCP is an invading force.
I didn't know you had a TikTok.
No, I don't actually. I think
we got banned from TikTok.
Maybe I do have a TikTok. I don't remember. I don't think I do. But it's the Republic of China. That's the real government of China. The republic that was basically pushed onto the island by the CCP.
Republic.
Restore the Republic.
I love the thing that the West, that America has exported to the world as the awful hyperbolic language. Like when Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, is talking about the denazification of Ukraine and they are Nazis. I'm like, you sound like a 17-year-old kid in like a high school debate team. Like, are we all talking on this awful hyperbolic, I'm going to get rid of the Nazis from Ukraine? It's awful how someone who's been a statesman for 60 years sounds like a TikTok kid right now.
Like a boomer.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Well, he's got to hold on to that, though, because that's now the official line. And
he has to. It's just embarrassing.
Because I think we need to remember, too, that, any of these statements now that Lavrov is making, and you're right, that he's been known as someone who's actually pretty highly respected in the international community, even though, obviously they disagree with him on a lot, that all of a sudden he's throwing that away to, throw off these little, like, pot shot, like WWE kind of lines. And the reason is, though, that's all getting played internally, right? And so they're going to show that to the Russian people, and they're going to, and it's going to play into this new narrative, and it's the same narrative that, of course, Biden and all of these companies that are coming out now and banning Russians. You got, I think I was going to say earlier, Canada has said, this Canadian Minister of Transportation has said they're holding a charter plane in Canada full of Russian nationals, and they're not going to let it go. Right? So the internal narrative in Russia right now is that it's the world versus you. And guess what? The world is playing right into that.
Yep. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.